out. So then that way it is available for you on YouTube should you ever need to replay it. And then we'll go ahead and get started because it is 8:31 and we gave everybody enough time to jump on. We always start with gratitude. Who has gratitude this morning that they want to share? Maybe two or three of us. You can just raise your hand or unmute yourself. And then we will jump into announcements after that. And then we've got an amazing gal that we are talking to this morning in our top agent series. Cool. All right, gratitude. Who wants to start? Kyle, I will start with you. Yes, sir.
Yesterday we went door knocking and I got a potential listing out of it. Really nice old elderly woman whose husband was in the hospital and she needed maybe sell. So provide opportunity to
Fantastic.
provide value and get a listing out of it. So
I love that. Opportunity to provide value. Great job doing the work. Love it. Elizabeth.
thank you.
I want to be grateful today for DJ Mac. It is his birthday today, and just want to celebrate him and love having him in, the team and in my life. And now closer by because he moved up closer to me. So yeah, just today celebrating DJ. Being great.
Love that. Happy birthday, DJ. DJ has, so if you don't follow him on Instagram, he always shares like probably the best food pictures. I'm always commenting on where he eats and all the good stuff. So DJ, that's awesome. Love it. Kevin, I'm going to you, sir.
Yeah, sorry I'm not on camera. I look like a mess. Just got done working out. But just wanted to give gratitude to our BKT Houston team leader, Jaime. He's been jumping on the Mojo Dialer with us this week, and that's been really inspiring just seeing him do it. So it means that I can do it, and I have no reason not to. So I just want to give him a huge bit of gratitude.
I love that. I love that. That's a huge shout out. Absolutely. It is magical. Love it. Love it. I want to give a shout out to Chelsea in our Austin team and then Victoria on our Austin team. Chelsea got her first pending like in her first 60 days on the team. And then Victoria got her first listing and pending basically in the first 60 days as well. So it's really cool to see it come together. Our December and our January launch classes have been phenomenal. And if you feel like, I don't feel like the momentum's working for me, like maybe you go back and relaunch. It's powerful. Like just doing the work works. So all right, I am excited this morning to introduce you guys to my friend. I'm going to make you co-host, Amanda. Hold on one second, boom, boom. And then let me spotlight you for a second, dear. There you are. You are on, your name on Zoom is Zeta, but I know you are Amanda.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to talk to Amanda. And before we do, if there's any announcements that we need to make, this is a really good time for us to do that. Any announcements for any of your communities, any of your spaces, anything going on in your world that we should all know about? The only thing I thought about is next Thursday is, anybody have guesses? Call night. Whoa, call night. Next Thursday is Plays Call Night, guys. So if you participate in that, you probably have a lot of other people around you within Texas and throughout the nation participating with you. So we're not going to be meeting here because it makes it for a very long day. But we will be back the following week, I think, with Brian Gubernick. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. All right, my friend Amanda, she is located in Austin, Texas. You see her on your screen right now. And I've known you, Amanda, for a few years. I would say probably 2018-ish at least.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which is super exciting. I saw Amanda yesterday and we had a really good time at an event, and then we get to talk today. So if you don't mind us kind of getting started, Amanda, and the direction I want to go in is just a conversation that Amanda and I would have just in regular life. And her success speaks for her for itself. And then I just want her to share kind of her journey with us. So the goal is for you to gain either an action item out of it that can change your business, inspiration that will motivate you. So before we jump into your success in real estate, Amanda, can you just outline for us what your potential personal life looks like? Like, do you have kids? Are you involved in anything outside of real estate, or is real estate all you do?
So I do have, we have 3 kids. Zeta, she's 19. She now works with us. She's been in our ops team for a year. We have a 11-year-old boy and 10-year-old boy, and they both play soccer. And we stay really, really busy with soccer almost every weekend. I don't know how people do it to work and have kids in sports. And then my husband, David, he is a buyer's agent on the team. So that's what we do. And we right now our life is around the boys and soccer. So we're always really, really busy. But my life has transitioned from the little one is 10, and that as long as I've been in business in real estate. I got my license when he was 3 weeks old. So when I see him, it always reminds me that he's as old as my career.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't think I knew that. That's an interesting time to start. Weren't you, I mean, I'm just thinking, weren't you scared? Like, you have a little 3-week-old baby. What are you doing starting a new career? Like walk me through that mindset.
So my husband David had just come from Afghanistan, and we were prepared through Yellow Ribbon that when military come back, you know, that they're high risk for being suicidal. So I did not want to add any stress to him, but we did need money to pay for daycare. And even though I was a sales and customer service manager for a big company, $62,000 a year was not enough for us to be able to pay daycare for 2 kids that were, infants. Little David was 18 months old and Danny was 3 weeks old. So it was a huge sacrifice to leave your baby at 3 weeks old. But at the end of the day, when you want to make sure that your kids are taken care of, you do whatever it takes to do that. So my mindset was, I need to make enough money to be able to pay for daycare. What can I do that I can control my income on the side while I'm still working at Progressive 40 hours plus leading a team of 45 people? And I was selling my house in Buda, Texas, and my realtor told me everything I needed to do. The house was under contract in a day, and I had everything ready for the house within 48 hours. So being at home, I had a lot of time to watch HGTV, and I was like, wow, that sounds something I can do. I can probably sell homes, and instead of, before I used to sell jewelry and purses on the side, and I have always been kind of a hustler, like always selling something. I was like, houses never go out of style, out of fashion. So I think that's something that I can do, on the side. So that's how I started. It was a necessity for me.
Got it. Okay. So, and you were working at Progressive 40 hours a week, and you were starting your career. I mean, you had a baby, well, basically 2 babies, and an older baby. Oh my goodness. Okay. That is a lot. This was 10 years ago, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay. At what point did David join you in the business? Because your husband is a buyer's agent on the team.
Yes. So David joined me, it was about my 4th or 5th year.
Okay.
When I couldn't service so many clients that I had. I needed somebody to come and help me.
Got it. Okay. So the first couple years, 4 or 5 years, you were doing it on your own.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. And then David joined you 4 or 5 years later. Was it scary for you both to be commissioned at that point? That sounds kind of scary.
Yes, it was the scariest thing was for me to go full time. That was the scariest thing, which I did that in 18 months when I built my business. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, how I did that.
Okay.
But once David came in, by then I had a really good income because I was selling 88 homes, 87, and then 88.
Okay.
So I had a really nice income. So him coming in was like, hey, you can come in and we don't have to pay that many taxes because you're an employee. You get to spend more time with the boys and have more of a life balance. So at that point, it was more so of convincing him to leave his dreams to come and help me. I know that sounds so big, but it gave him more time with the kids too. So it was a win-win for all.
Okay, so he didn't join your business until you were absolutely crushing it to like the tune of 87, 88 houses sold a year. Yes. Got it. Okay, you were very financially secure in your business. So, okay, let's talk about how we got there then. because for everyone who doesn't know you well right now, you now 10 years later lead and operate the Amanda Ponce team at Place. You yourself are totally on top of leading the team and all the responsibilities that come with it, and still sell 27 homes a year just currently, right? I could dig into that, and that's another call. But today I want to dig into like how you got to like when you weren't the team leader and had all those responsibilities, you sold a lot of homes. You know, how do you sell like 80 something homes, right? How you did it. So first off, where did this business like come from? Like walk us backwards.
Okay, awesome. So I do want to say that I always wanted to be in a team, but nobody would take me in a team. I didn't even get an interview.
What?
So if it would have been up to me, the smartest thing leading teams and being part of the team is being on a team. That is the smartest thing to do. But I guess because I was a mom, right? Or you know, I was underestimated. I never even got an interview. So I just want to say that if it would have been up to me, I would have been in a team. So so what happened was that I know this is really simple, guys, but simple the basics gets us the results, right? Gary Keller says that we got to do the boring, right? And so one of the things is my mindset was one, I have no I'm going to make it, right? I have no choice. I'm going to make it. I need a daycare. So that was my mindset. Two, who can I learn from that is able to show me the ropes? Without a back then, that was my productivity coach, which I can only meet her once a month because I had another job, right? Once a month. And if she told me to jump, my answer was, how high do you need me to jump? Right? So everybody says they're coachable, but most of us are not. Coachable is doing something different from what you would do, right? So I went ahead and I told my productivity coach, I met with my team leader, I said, what do I need to do to be successful? And they said, you only need to do 3 things. One, have enough conversations a day, you know, between 10 to 20 conversations, real estate conversations a day. 2, get them into contract. And 3, get them to closing. I said, that's it? That's all I got to do? And they said, yes. I said, okay, I'm going to do that. I was new, so I didn't know what I didn't know, right? So I was like, okay, that's all I'm going to do. So that's what I did. Every day, no matter what, I had 20 conversations a day, real estate related, whether they were from picking up the phone and cold calling, because I did that, whether it was driving through for sale by owners and talking to them, I did that. What, you know, also like going to network events, I did that. You know, people at the gas station, you know, I asked for business, introduced myself, I got their information. Like any person that was alive and breathing was going to be part of my 20 contacts.
Okay, so first of all, how did you like? Did you? 'Cause I think a lot of people, especially when they are starting out their business or when they want to go to the next level in their business, they think they're doing more activity than they are, right? So how did you know it was you were doing 20 contacts? Like, did you just keep track of it in your mind? Did you write it down? Like, and how did you define the contact? Like, just random people that said hello? Like, was it a quality? Did that matter to you? Like, walk us through back then.
So one of the main things is that you always have my coach. I don't remember if it was my team leader or my productivity coach. Somebody told me at all times you have to have 20 willing and able clients, because out of the 20, you're going to move forward 2 to 3 a month. Everybody else may end up not moving that month until later, right? So I was very clear that my pipeline had to be at all times 20 willing and able buyers. So what I did is I had a notebook. Every day I would keep track of who I was talking to. A contact for me is having a conversation 2-way, right? And then I have their email or phone number in a way to get a hold of them. And so that's how I kept track, old school, because I didn't have Brevity. I didn't have all this fancy stuff that we have now, right? It was just very old school. And so I just had a notebook, and then I had dividers, January through December. And I had the buyers in the front and the sellers in the back. That way I can keep track of myself, of who I was talking to, what was the conversation, what was their situation. So that those were my contacts. And then on the pipeline, it was like the more that I talked to them about either stories about somebody making a really good deal or myself or anyone in the market center, I use that to talk about real estate because my productivity coach said there's no successful secret real estate agent. So you're going to tell the world that you're doing real estate. So I did that. I also kept track because the productivity coach said, you have to, every week, you have to do 5 notes, written notes. Every day you have to do 5 written notes, part of your contacts. And so that's what I did. I did 5 written notes every single day. Well, guess what happened 3 years later? I sold half of my street of my neighbors. Why? Because I wrote 5 written notes to my neighbors, right? So that was part of my contacts. Then she also told me I needed to visit builders. Well, I had 2 babies in car seats with a military husband. So I was like, how in the world am I going to do that? So I would get my little truck. I would go around the builders. I would get the little pamphlet. I would study the pamphlet. I would study the deals. I couldn't get down because I had, a newborn baby and, both of them in Peppers. So I would study the market, drive around, and that's how I would learn the market, right? So that is equivalent to the launch when you go and preview.
Wow.
So I was getting my 20 contacts, plus studying the market, plus hiding in the closet to take my calls so that people wouldn't hear my kids, screaming and stuff. But I basically came down that I did the basics very well. And the basics will always, no matter what market you're in, is always going to save you. And that's how I was able to build the database of 300 people that after my 18 month, I know this is really bad and sounds really bad, but after 18 months, I was no longer calling people or chasing people for business. People have been calling me, which is a really, really, a really good feeling to have.
I love that. So the first 18 months of your business, you were building a database, it sounds like, right?
Yes.
And it was about 300 people?
Yes.
How much of that time were you working the other job as well?
So the other job I was doing 40 hours, right? As being, and it was a very intense job because I was hiring, recruiting, firing, that kind of stuff. It was a high performing team. And on the side, I was doing real estate, but I was dreaming about real estate. When I was in the other job, I was dreaming of real estate because, I could help someone sell insurance or help my team sell insurance, but there's nothing like selling a house. There's a bigger impact. So my heart started to transition into real estate. So yeah, there was a lot of responsibilities and it got really difficult in around month 12 to month 18. I had a lot of breakdowns, crying, but I knew that I had to get enough money to be able to save 6 months of my income for me to feel comfortable stepping out of, real estate and taking a leap of faith. But I was very purposeful. I read a book, right? And that book said a story about how somebody sold a house in 6 months and they went bankrupt. So I prepare myself mentally a lot, right? In knowing that I always have to forecast my income. I've been operating like the shift book since I started my career because I read the shift book, 6 months of my career, and I have operated that way. And I was like, this shift is never coming, and here it is, right? So I see the shift as a blessing to those of us that love to work and love to service other. I see that as a blessing. I've been waiting for it my whole career.
I'm curious, Amanda, you were working 40 hours at Progressive during this time. How much time were you giving your real estate business during those first 18 months? Like if you had to guess.
I was probably doing between 20 to 25 hours, but
Okay.
when I was asleep and the babies were going to sleep, I was studying other realtors. I would go into Keller Williams and listen to their videos of how they build their business. So I was doing about 20 to 25. I was very purposeful. So when I go to the builders, because I had a job, I would call the builders, get them registered, set the appointments, tell the clients that they're going to meet with the builders, and then I was going to follow up with them. They wanted to do a contract. So it was very purposeful with my time. Sometimes I would have 2 or 3 families go all at once with the same builder. So that's why it's so important to know the price points, because once you become very clear the price points, and if you have the same avatar clients, then you're able to sometimes even sell streets of neighborhoods. So the 88 came with selling the street like 7 or 8 houses, all new builds, right? So sometimes I had closings, 15 closings a month, right? But I had no leverage, guys. So I feel like I had a car that didn't work, a little Volkswagen that didn't work. Sometimes it needed oil, needed this and that. I had mentorship. I did a lot of mistakes. I did mistakes that cost me a lot of money. We have it really good in teams. We have it really good because we have a Corvette. All you got to do is plug in, be coachable and take off, right? And depending how what your financial thermostat is. So I'm now excited that we're able to have this in place for everybody. We don't have to go through so much struggles and mistakes like some of us did in the beginning.
You said you also built a relationship with some business affiliates. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so one of the things is there's this circle, right, that talks about, building your database, the MED does not MED, right, through, I believe that's that MREA book or the Shift book. And so one of the things that said business affiliates, so I made a list of people who are my top 5 people that are going to help me accomplish my goal. And not just my goal, but how can I help them? Because I'm a giver, right? I'm not a taker, I'm a giver, right? And so one of the people on the list, he was a credit repair. Well, he's a credit repair, and so he was helping a lot of families and businesses. Well, he helped me a lot be able to build a business. And from those people that he sent me, then I was able to help their people, and that's how we grew. And I was also very, sending to this day, I send him a lot of business too. So who is that person that needs clients? Who is that person that has your best interest? Make a list, right? Call them and put together a plan that is going to be able to help. So this credit repair guy was instrumental for the business. Also, I also started social committees in the neighborhoods in my neighborhood that I live. And so I created alliances with all the small business owners with like Mary Kay and Avon and Girl Scout cookies. I mean, I was buying products from everybody, right? Because I was trying to help them so they could also keep me in mind in case there was someone. So I built a business in 18 months of referrals just by having really good relationships. And you always got to give before you receive, in my opinion. So I was always doing volunteer work, helping out, doing things as well.
At what point did you start caring about having sellers as part of your business?
Right away.
Okay.
Ever since, yes. So from the very beginning, since I started my career, I have always been 50-50 on buyers and, and sellers. And then once David came in, he got all the buyers and now I have all the sellers. I only keep the Spanish buyers sometimes. But the Gary Keller says that 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 controls the listings control the market, right? And if something were to happen, you're always stay with the listings. Well, we saw that back in 2021, right? I feel bad for the buyer's agents putting 15, 20, 30 offers when I was at the receiving agent just accepting the awesome, offer. So again, it's being coachable, right? And do the things that other people have already done before.
Did you do open houses at all during that time?
I did not do open houses in my I did a very few open houses in my career, and that's because I had 2 jobs, so I had to be very strategic with my time. So Monday through Sunday, I had my board, right? 2 days, these are my days for appointments. This is my 2 days, that I was gonna be doing, or half a days that I was gonna be doing showings, right? So that's all I had time with. I only had time to do my 20 contacts, right? 3 to 5 appointments a week with people, and then my showings. If I got out of the door on a Saturday, you better believe I'm gonna come back with a contract. If I step out the door, and I don't say it in a bad way, anything, but it was like I talked to them during the week, got them pre-approved in the week. On Saturday, I would tell them, pack your lunch, your snacks. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna pick a house. Then every Saturday, I was putting 1 or 2 people under contract. So I was very purposeful with my time.
Oh, I like that. We're gonna pick a house. We're not going to look at houses today. We're gonna go pick a house today. I'm all about that. That's really good. Just so I'm clear and everybody's clear, at what point did you start doing 20 contacts a day? Was that while you were at Progressive? Was that after you started full time and you weren't with Progressive anymore?
No, I did it from the very beginning, right? Especially being at Progressive. that I was working with 1,000 people. I was like, I better talk to as many people as I can before I leave and get their information, because then I'm not gonna be, here. So I started my 20 contacts from first month in the business. And when I left Progressive on the 18th month, I had a strategy. I said, even if we're eating beans and tortillas, what is the amount of money that I need to bring, every month, so we don't go down, transition to full time. And that was about $1,500 a month. I said, okay, perfect. I can do that. I can do rentals. My first month, I had 8 rentals. My first month, I had already done more money than I did at Progressive. And then every month after that, bless the Lord, that I have had closings my whole entire career, regardless of the market, since I started. But I gotta tell you, a lot it has to do with plan, and a lot has to do that I don't treat real estate any different than my other job, right? Like, why would I have worked really hard for Progressive, for a company that I'm replaceable, and why wouldn't I not have worked hard for my business, for my family? So I don't take shortcuts, right? Everything that is non-business related, I deal with that after 5, on the weekends. Very rarely do I put anything that is personal during the week.
Wow. Okay, so what would you change or what would you improve just knowing what you know now if you were to do it again?
So one of the things I would have gotten content to close, because I got business really fast. When I didn't have time to think. I was like a mad woman, like everywhere, right? And so I didn't know content to close. So I would have taken time to reflect, even if I would have lost business, to reflect, like, okay, can I have a content to close, or should I really try to reach out to other people and see if anybody will get me in their team, right? To get a mentor, very early on, like a coach to help me in my real estate, or in a team in content to close. I would have used leverage, because I was doing leverage. I was staging my own listings. I was doing everything. I was a mad woman. It wasn't until my second time that I got 88 deals that I got a showing specialist for 5 months, and she helped me a lot. But I did it the harder way. And sometimes, if you're already doing like 8 to 10 deals, a month, you gotta reflect and go with someone that has a lot of experience and ask them, hey, what should I be doing? So that's something I would have done differently. I would have stopped and paused. But my adrenaline was so high of getting so many clients that I didn't take time to pause. I was scared I was going to lose.
Absolutely. What would your advice be as we wrap up to someone who wants to build a business like you? And when I say like you, I mean a very sustainable, predictable, targeted business that has income forecasted for multiple months ahead. Like, what kind of advice would you give someone?
So your coach, your leaders, your team leaders, go and set up an appointment with them at least once a month, right? To earn that appointment, you have to be able to be producing, right? What do I need to be doing? Can you look at my schedule? Can you give me feedback? Ask for a lot of feedback, right? Am I going the right direction? I need somebody to kind of look at that, right? And then and just do whatever they tell you, because they've been proven. So that would be number 1. Number 2 is, don't lie to yourself, right? It's really, really be honest and look at the schedule. That you can't have an 100,000, 300,000, $500,000, year, right? If you have $5 work ethic, right? So you have to be really real and use your, schedule. Learn how to say no, right? Learn how to say no. But if you want anything, you can do it, guys. It's just, I'm not smarter than anyone else, but what I am is I'm very coachable. And that is what, what has helped me. And even now, I'm very grateful for Adelina. We learned a lot from her. I'm an operator where I learned a lot from Adelina, right? And from other people. So it's I'm coachable, and what would I want to do in my way? So get the ego off the way, right? Ego is not a good thing for business. Learn from others. And then just do your contacts, no matter what. If you have a problem, oh my God, I have so much business, great. You have a showing specialist, right? You get all these different people
Leverage.
to help you. That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. You're amazing. really, really glad we got to talk with you because oftentimes when someone has sold, 50, 60, 70, 80 homes a year, it may have been because, 30 years in the business, or it could be that, they were married to a builder. None of those things are bad things. Those are great. Use what you got, right? But you were a mama who decided to change her life and change her family's life. And you did it while working a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, and you still got your 20 contacts a day, and you didn't lie to yourself. You did what you needed to do to get the result that you wanted. And today we get to see the highlight reel. It doesn't mean that it was easy, but it was absolutely freaking worth it. And we get to be on the other side of that. And we're so grateful for your story. Amanda, you're awesome. How can people get in touch with you if they need any inspiration or if they have any questions? How do we talk to you? How can we plug you in our phone? What's your number?
My 800-1359, and if you have any questions, anything, like, we all go through the same things, right? So I'm here as a resource for you. Or aponcerealty@gmail.com.
Excellent. Can you pop that into chat as well so that I
Yes.
have it?
Mhm.
Fantastic. Guys, so grateful that you spent your morning with us. We are 3 minutes past the hour. Apologies for that. Hopefully it was valuable to you. We will not see you next week because it is call night for everyone doing the place productivity cadence. And if you'd like to do that and your team maybe isn't able to do it this time around, just jump onto our happy place. I bet you a bunch of people are doing it. You can change your life together with all of us. We'll be back the following Thursday. Guys, have an awesome rest of your week. We will see you soon. Bye, guys.